right, it is monthly market update time. Hey, Lily with Keller Williams Realty. So I'm hoping to make this one a little bit more interesting here today. I have a few topics I want to talk about. One being how a more stable market actually could be better for both buyers and sellers. And then the other one, which is a little bit more unfortunate, I know we're all tired of talking about it, but is how does this fourth wave of COVID, how is that going to affect the real estate market? So gonna kind of trickle these in here as I talk with you about what's going on with the market currently. So for right off the bat, we've been talking about it here for the last year or two, what's happening with inventory of homes. We saw that significant decrease in inventory happen around July of last year. Really things were getting tough. We saw all of what's happening with COVID, and we just saw pretty much a shutdown of the market that also then related into a huge decrease in inventory, which has continued on into our current market. With that, we are seeing slowly some semblance of a recovery in the market when it comes to new homes coming on the market and inventory of homes. So new homes to the market, we saw an increase of 7% I have here 4,200 new homes to the market last month. So shows some sign, 0.7% obviously isn't a huge amount, but it does show we're continually seeing more homes go on the market. With that, we also did see, a little slight rise in inventory of homes, as I said, with 0.9 months of inventory of homes, which came up from 0.8. Obviously still not a huge rise. Hopefully we'll get up to 1 month next month. We'll just have to see, but it does show that at least we're seeing things slowly start to creep up, which is great. With that, we also did see actually a decrease in pending sales, about 8%, which, it's pretty significant that less homes were able to go under contract last month. Now, there could be a wide range of reasoning for that, less homes to choose from, less homes to, go under contract on. Also could be, as we get further into the summer, people get a little less motivated when it comes to real estate. People are maybe tired of being out in this market. But it also shows that things are just sitting on the market a little bit longer. Where in the past, this is for you home sellers, where you could just list your home, put it on the market, not do very many repairs, not stage it, not do anything super major to prep and still get your home to sell in 5 seconds. Might not be the case in this market. We also did see an increase in sale properties of just 1%, with 3,439 homes being sold to new homeowners last month. So we did still see an increase in home sales, but not by very much. In the past, I believe we've saw a lot larger of a percentage. So we are seeing there's a little bit of a slowdown in motivation and maybe ability to buy, which in the end, if you want to look at it that way, actually might not be a bad thing for this market. So we do want to see a recovery of this market, and we want to see more homes getting listed, which is happening. But we also maybe want to see that motivation from buyers kind of level out a little bit, and that could be both better for buyers and for sellers. Now, for a seller, you might think we want as much motivation as possible. We want everybody out there just selling houses, no contingencies, all of that getting taken care of, which is great to some degree. But one reason that we've had a lot of hesitancy for homes to be put on the market from sellers, just from what I've experienced from, sellers I've worked with and from what I'm hearing from other realtors, is, I've talked about this for months. Sellers are worried, when I sell my house, where the heck am I going to move to next? So if we do see the market slow down a little bit when it comes to people just picking up any property they can and buying it, that actually could be really beneficial to sellers who in particular need to sell and then buy again. It actually might motivate certain sellers if they see homes sitting on the market. It might not motivate them in the way where they're going to think I'm going to get the best deal for my house, which still actually would be the case if you prep your house right, you do the repairs that are needed, that are really obvious, you do all the right strategy and marketing that, obviously we can help with on the realtor side. But it shows you that when you go to sell your house, you can get a rent back period, something we can talk about, or do a different types of strategies to where you can actually go out and buy a house yourself. And potentially it's not going to be like you're in a major bidding war with other people. You can find that right property for yourself. So we are actually hoping seeing the market slow a little bit down in motivation for buyers, or just that in general homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer, that'll actually motivate some sellers to sell because they see that potential for themselves to be able to go out and buy a property for themselves. On top of all of that, we did, as I said, see that 0.9 months in inventory, which is great. Total time on market did decrease down to 20 days, which, shows there is still a good amount of motivation out there. That shows, if we're seeing monthly time on market go down, that means people are still going out there and grabbing properties. So don't want to give you the false idea that things are just sitting like crazy. You're still going to be particularly in a lot of the more competitive markets, still trying to beat out other people, still trying to see, what needs to happen. But we are seeing the market shift a little bit. Before, you would see any house on the market, unless it was just a crazy property, would sell. Whereas now we're seeing there being a little bit of a slowdown in that regard, which could hopefully be a really good thing for everybody. On top of all of that, now you probably aren't surprised that average home price did see an increase again. So average sale price of a home in the Portland metro area went up to 567,800. I don't know why I did it as numbers, not as the actual thing, but yeah, 567,000 is where we're at for the average sales price right now. I have had some people ask me recently again, hey, as we head into the fall, will we see a decrease in home prices? I got a buyer ask me this the other day, and she was really excited by that, idea. We're out showing houses, and she said, well, should we wait till the fall? Maybe our price is just going to slow down. And I know that's something people hear, and I understand and appreciate the excitement of that idea, but it typically just doesn't happen in our market. Our market isn't as seasonal as other markets you'll see. And, it's just, do you think if you look at the history of home sales in Portland Metro, they've steadily increased year over year for many years. And so when it comes to will the market shift, I just don't think so. I'll do another video on this because I could talk about this for a while. But in terms of that, I don't really see the market just having a drastic slowdown in price unless inventory goes way, way up and there's just more houses to choose from, which we don't see happening to that extreme. Lastly, maybe I'm actually gonna make this another video because I'm already at 7 minutes, 30 seconds, but in terms of how COVID is going to affect the current market, we all thought we were gonna come out of this and be in a place where we're not really dealing with COVID as much. We stopped wearing masks during home showings, if you're vaccinated, all of that kind of stuff. We're noticing the masks are coming back on. So for occupied homes, we are seeing a lot of sellers requesting that masks come back on, which most people are happily complying to. If you are someone who's thinking about selling, definitely it's been pretty easy and people are very understanding to put the mask back on. In terms of how that's going to affect the market, it's really, one of those cases we're going to kind of see how this new variant is going to affect the market. We are hoping we're going to still see a recovery in the market. In my opinion, I think, this time around, we've already known how to deal with COVID. A lot of people are already vaccinated. People are in the Portland Metro very willing to wear masks here specifically. And so hopefully it won't affect our market too much. Again, that's really, kind of we're in the process of seeing that. I'm going to do a whole nother video on that because that's a whole big topic. So hope that all helps. There's a lot in there. If you have any questions for me, I am happy to talk with you. If you are someone who is thinking of selling your home, especially here in the fall or even further on, I would love to chat with you. And if you are a buyer who is thinking about being a buyer, I am happy to chat with you as well. Feel free to reach out to me. And I am looking forward to being a resource to you. All right, thanks.